morning, everyone. Father, family, friends, and all who are gathered here today. We come together in faith, in love, and in remembrance to honor the life of Warwick Robert Stock, a son, a father, a brother, a friend, and a man who meant so much to so many. Before we reflect on Warwick's life, I want to acknowledge his family and thank them for sharing him with all of us. And to thank everyone here for the love, support, and presence that you've shown during this time. I've been fortunate enough to know Warwick for more than 30 years, long before the stages, the microphones, and the name DJ Warras. I knew Warwick as a boy growing up in a small town called Vryheid in northern KZN. We grew up climbing mulberry trees, riding bikes through long school holidays, and having endless sleepovers filled with trips to the arcade games in town, always with plenty of laughter and always with plenty of jokes. We would leave the house early in the morning and go exploring on the farm, with the railway line for some reason always being one of his favorites, returning home with more stories than when we left. We were often sent to the local spaza shop up the road from Granny Joan, usually sent by Granny Joan, Uncle Tiny, Auntie Bev, Auntie Dawn. And as an incentive, there was usually something in it for us as the delivery boys. Granny Joan could never understand why it took up to an hour to go one block in a small town like Vryheid. But it was because we got distracted. We met somebody we knew, somebody Warwick knew, or simply tucked into the sweets that the delivery fee allowed us to buy. Along the way in those early years, we learned to ride horses, not well, work on engines, and delivered blocks all over KZN with my father. Those early years were filled not only with noise and adventure, but also with moments that quietly stayed with us, learning respect for our elders and for people from all walks of life, slow Christmas days and Christmas visits where time seemed to move differently, long conversations that didn't need an agenda, and gatherings at either of our extended families' homes, which till that day we cherished. Simple moments that, looking back now, shaped who he became. Warwick attended Nardini Convent Primary School and later Vryheid High School. And even in those early years, he touched many lives and was many things to many people. When I think of Warwick, a few qualities stand out clearly. Warwick was authentic and genuine, and one thing was always clear: people were drawn to him. He made friends easily, and more importantly, his friendships were real. What you saw is what you got. Warwick was a natural storyteller. He had an exceptional ability of creating spaces that brought people together. There were signs of this throughout high school, and we would come out of different classes at break time to find a group of classmates from Standard 6 all the way to matric of different ages, from different backgrounds: English, Zulu, Afrikaans, German, different cultures and creeds, standing together, listening and laughing loudly at something Warwick was saying. Warwick had respect and love for all people. He could comfortably mingle with high net worth individuals and in the very same moment be sitting on a street corner with the neighborhood gents from all walks of life, equally at ease and equally present. He connected effortlessly with people, and people wanted to be around him. Warwick loved cars. He loved them growing up, and in those years, cult classics like the Gusheshe, the Supra, the VR6, and as he used to say, the Skybantwana, were words that came out of his mouth often. We practiced driving on any vehicle that we could find, and in the early years, it was usually the tractor or a 1980-something Toyota Stallion that only had 4 gears. Warwick was adamant you only needed 4. Both carrying us through countless stories and memories, and sometimes pushing their limits, but always filled with laughter, curiosity, and a sense that life was there to be lived. Beyond the actual driving, I vividly remember Warwick perfectly imitating the sound of a 325 IS, multiple times. Once through a microphone connected to a full sound system at one of Nicole's friends' houses. And when I say imitating, I mean perfectly. The revs, the limiter, the gear changes, the way the sound grew louder as the car approached the house. Even hooting at friends on the street corners, thrown into the performance for effect. He truly was talented in many, many ways. Warwick never accepted the status quo. He was intelligent and analytical, and unafraid to ask why. And more importantly, why not do better? While he was grateful and proud of his small town upbringing, he always dreamed of the big city and doing big things, not just for himself, but for others too. He was a loyal friend, always willing to help, and his ambitions were never just about himself. They were about building a better future for his children, for the country that he loved so deeply. He was a patriot and unafraid to speak his mind when something didn't sit right with him. In the later years, we saw each other less. Life moved on, distances increased, responsibilities grew, and time became harder to find. But every time that we connected throughout life's various milestones, one thing was always clear. Warwick deeply, deeply respected and loved his family. He loved his boys, and he lived for them. They were his pride, his purpose, and the center of everything he did. To Auntie Bev and Warwick's family, thank you again for sharing him with the world. Thank you for the love, the values, the strength that shaped the man that so many of us were fortunate to know. What I didn't get a chance to tell Warwick was how much I looked up to him, how proud of him I was, and all that he had achieved, how much respect we had for him as the father that he had become, and the man that he grew into. Warwick lived fully. He loved deeply. He challenged thinking. He told stories that connected us and brought people together, and always as his true self. And while his time with us was far too short, his impact will live on through his children, his family, and all of us who were lucky enough to know him. To Warwick's boys, your dad loved you deeply, and was so proud of you. Always. That love stays with you throughout and without condition. Rest easy, Stocks. Thank you for the memories, the laughter, the stories, the adventures, and the legacy that you leave behind. You will always be remembered.